What's good, my boy? So many people live their lives through other people's guidance fully. They it's easier for them to listen to people who are in the place that they want to be, think they want to be, and they just take everything they fucking say at face value and believe it and develop a line of thinking of, oh man, this is exactly what I want. I want what they have, so I'm going to do exactly what they say. And they live their lives through this expectation, whether it be through perceived positive expectation or perceived negative expectation. What do I mean by this? There's different groups of people who view certain things as positive and certain things as negative. Like most people's parents, a positive perceived expectation for them would be a safe route. There might be a few outliers, but they don't disprove what I'm saying. They want their child to go to college or have a nice, safe job, or they live their own life. Like your parents live their own lives. And it's not that they probably rarely think about you. You're their baby, or unless you have like some problems with your parents, you're their baby, you're their fucking creation. Of course, they're going to think about you, but they have their own lives. When your parents go to work, they see their coworkers, they fucking do their own little thing, and they probably forget about you for a period of time. So, they want you to have this comfortable thing, so it's kind of like an autopilot activity. They care a lot about you, but they have their own thing going on. So they want you to do something comfortable so they don't have to fucking worry at night about you or have any problems. A perceived negative expectation for somebody like your parents would be fucking dropping out of school or working rough-ass odd jobs with fucking construction with power tools where you might get fucking your arm cut off by accident, or fucking walking metal buildings trying to fucking weld or drill together red iron buildings where you might fall off and break your neck, or working on a roof. Countless other examples that I could spend 30 minutes listing, but those would be perceived negative expectations where whenever they think about you, say you live away from home, they're like, oh man, I hope he's alright. Man, I love my kid so much. I hope he's alright. That would be an example of what I'm describing for parents. Now, a lot of young people, they think of their parents as like, if they don't have like this glorious thing that they worship, people that have it online, like entrepreneurs or fucking digital nomads or whatever fucking buzzword you want to use, they'll find guidance and mentorship through parasocial relationships online. Oh man, this like business guru guy really has what I feel like I want at this point in my life. So they'll start taking everything that they have at face value, including the person's perceived positive and negative expectation. Let's use a certain example. Let me think of somebody who has very clear-cut beliefs. We'll use a Jordan Peterson. He's very much a good example for this. People might be like, oh man, Jordan Peterson is rich as fuck and he's so intelligent and so many people look up to him. I kind of want to model myself after him. So they start taking all of his positive perceived expectations. His diet. I'm going to eat fucking ground beef and steak just like Jordan Peterson. His intellectual capabilities. Oh man, I'm going to start reading Dostoevsky and Kafka and all these fucking old philosophy books and Carl Jung, and oh man, it's so cool. They might dabble in some of the other people who Jordan Peterson agrees with. Or they're like, oh man, I'm going to start a podcast. But they'll also, now, before I touch on the negative expectations, the reason why this is not a good thing, and to use another example, let's say you like a business person like Alex Hormozy or one of these self-improvement gurus. This is more of an example that would resonate with people. Let's say you pick one of these self-improvement gurus who they put themselves out there like they're better than you. They'll talk in deep accents and they'll sit up straight and they'll explain all these things that are good for you and what you need to be doing if you want to have a successful life. Look at me, I make $20,000 a month from shit online. It feels like it's magic. It feels like I have magic in my hand. So you're fucking drawn in. You're like, bro, exactly what I want. And then they push the positive expectations and negative expectations. And unlike your parents, you're fucking almost borderline worshiping this person at this point because they have so many things that you desire. They have the quick fix. They have the fucking magic. It's like you're in medieval times and you walking down the dirt road and you see a fucking wizard and you're just enticed. Everything you say, let me hear it. What's your life? What do you do? So they'll push their perceived positive expectations. Okay, wake up at 5 a.m., take cold showers, eat like this, don't drink alcohol, don't do any drugs of any fucking kind, don't even take a fucking ibuprofen, fuck art, fuck all this other shit. It's all noise and distraction. What you need is you need a laptop, you need digital fucking bullshit, you need Facebook ads, you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that. Or what are their positive, or what are their negative expectations? Things that they view as negative. Don't you watch porn? Don't you do this? Don't you do that? Don't fucking eat any food that's like this. Don't waste any time like this. If you're not... Now, this is bad. This is fucking bad. Because now, unlike becoming a unique person, a fucking... I was going to say the word snowflake, but that's kind of gay. A unique person. In the past, talent thrived. Talent thrived because less people had instant access on their phone to a fucking guru to base their life on. So they were just able to consistently just learn from their own unique area in the world and fucking influences around them, and it formed this unique individual where they could, whenever they travel, people would this isn't the reason why you follow your curiosities and your interests and it forms you into a unique person. But say you fucking lived in a different country like, say Germany or something, and you were brought up like this, and then you come to the United States, they're like, holy fuck, this person's so interesting. Or you lived in Italy, and 400 or 500 years go by, and people are reading about you like, God damn, Da Vinci was so interesting. Why do we not have people like this nowadays? It's because they can go in their pocket, and a million people can latch onto one person's beliefs and think that they found the key to life by what this 26-year-old fucking dude says. And it's all bullshit, bro. Now, you might be thinking, alright, how do I weed through this shit? Through something I got through one of these guru people, this dude named Luke Belmar. I'll be honest, I've used this fucking phrase a million times, and to give a note, I do not watch this type of content on a regular basis for the reasons I've outlined in this video of it convincing you that you need to be like this. But whenever I did, and whenever I was absorbed in this shit, he used this phrase, which I'm pretty sure it's like an old fucking overused thing, but different wisdom from different places. Take the meat and leave the bones. He was talking about Andrew Tate whenever he was at the height of his fame, and half the world hated him and half the world loved him. And he said, don't be obsessed with these people, but don't hate them. Take the meat, the good from them, and leave the bones, the shit that you don't feel meaning, that you don't see that cool, or you don't just leave the fucking shit that you're not interested in, and don't try to fucking photocopy yourself. A good example of what I'm talking about is go in any self-improvement YouTuber's channel, and this is not me trying to hate on someone that's above me, not above me, because I don't believe in that type of shit, but someone who's more popular than me. But go on any of their fucking channels and just go to the comment sections. It is like it's like 1,000 people beating their meat next to each other looking at this guy like, oh man, aren't we lucky that we found this guy's wisdom? Aren't we lucky that we fucking discovered him so young? I'm 13 and I can't believe it's fucking utter, just like, it's like acid, like you're drinking fucking boric acid or something. It's just like you want to fucking gouge your eyes out. And I don't remember myself ever being like that bad where some of these motherfuckers seem where they're just like hyper obsessed. But I did remember whenever I was in a couple low points discovering this. And maybe this means that there's a certain level of merit to it. But it helping me on my path and making me feel like, oh man, there's something better out there. It got me motivated, but it also made me chase women for a whole year straight and go down red pill and go fucking cold approach women and do all this shit, which is like a fun little adventure. But for me, I wish I would have done some of my art things. Can't change the past. And maybe it was beneficial for me. But you need to know whenever to snap out of that shit. And the best, most consistent way to do that is to take the meat and leave the bones. Like, for example, during this time, I also fell in love with like people like David Goggins, who I respect greatly, and certain different attributes and things. Now, to describe my routine now, I've taken a lot of meat from these different people and left a lot of bones. Philosophically, I have a lot of thoughts from different people, not just all gurus. Some of them are just like influencers like Joe Rogan and different things like this, as well as all these different artists who I really fell in love with their method to things, so they kind of helped me discover art forms and shit. But you take these little things, oh man, that's pretty interesting, and you put it in a pile. Oh man, that's pretty interesting, and you put it in a pile. What you don't do is say, oh man, everything this guy says is cool, and you fucking grab the motherfucker, and you're like, alright, this is me now. No, you cannot do that. That is where you lose yourself. You are no longer that unique person. You are a photocopy that a million other people are trying to be as well. And it's bland. It defeats the whole purpose of this shit, of being young and being able to mold yourself into your own man. Let your nuts hang, my boy. Be your own mans. Let your nuts hang. I mean, it might also be because there's so many people have low self-esteem nowadays and are just like online, chronically online, where they don't get to experience this. But like, I've spent a majority of these past couple of years and even my childhood. I mean, I had a bunch of friends where I grew up, but like during the summers, I was out and I would go to my grandparents' house and we would just go and do their fucking little fun things and spend time around people who were like anywhere from 50 years old to like 80 years old. And it's like the characters you meet, they just do what they want. They're not sitting here like, oh man, NoFap is so great. I take so many cold showers. I'm sober. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol. No. They just live life, bro. They just live life through their own parameters and through things that they enjoy. And yeah, maybe they would be better off from time to time if they instill discipline or shit like this. But it's like, they're just doing them, you do you. For me, I find it incredibly useful for my time and as well as my mental health to wake up at 5 in the morning. Waking up at 5 in the morning before anybody else is awake, and I spend like an hour drinking coffee and reading, and then I'll immediately go and get a workout done. Instantly, it's like already 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock by then. I'm fucking done, bro. I'm done. I'm done with the hardest shit that I I would not. No, I still like working out and I like to read, but they're also like your brain creates these thoughts of like shit you'd rather be doing. And these are the things where that happens a lot. Like, oh man, I instead of spending a fucking hour and a half reading a book or an hour and a half working out, I'd rather go do this. I just get them out of the fucking way, and I feel accomplished at 7 o'clock in the morning. I just got a great fucking workout, and I've read and gained a new perspective from some sort of book. A book I'm reading right now, for a little bit of a suggestion for you boys to take some meat and leave the bones for me, is this. Where the fuck is the book? Let me grab this shit real quick. Oh. Wherever You Go, There You Are by John Kabat-Zinn. It's pretty good. There's a little bit of hippy-dippy shit in it, but it's pretty much about mindfulness and meditation and how to be, like, theories on awareness and shit like that. It was Rick Rubin, I heard in a podcast, recommended it, and I was like, as is like the most powerful fucking book he's ever read on meditation and awareness, and he's a hippie motherfucker who reads all sorts of spiritual shit, so it's pretty good. But I gained new perspectives in things that like I relate to myself with, where I'm like, I kind of, oh man, this is really cool, and I get really into it, and my brain gets engaged at like 5 in the morning and wakes me up. Another thing, this coffee right here. I tried to quit coffee like a week ago because I watched like 2 or 3 videos. One was Chris Williamson, the other one was this like Alex Becker dude, and talking about like how coffee is terrible for you and all this different shit, and all these comments like justifying it, like, yeah man, that shit is fucking terrible. Ever since I quit coffee, my dick grew 5 inches. I just started doing this, gained $1 million, all this different shit, my gut health, fuck, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, maybe there's merit to this. Tried it for a week and realized, nah dog, that's not for me. My energy levels bottomed out after the week. Not bottomed out, but they leveled out after a week, and I felt fine. But it's like, I probably wouldn't have been able to do this 5 a.m. shit, and it's not like I'm drinking 20 cups a day all throughout the day. I have it in the morning once, and it's like a ritual for me. Wake up, go mix the instant coffee and get ready, and I like the taste of it and everything. It's like a ritual for me, and it helps me become better. It helps me work towards being better, and it might just be cope. Nah, fuck that shit, bro. This shit is not cope, because this proves my point right here. I'm picking and choosing things that I don't give a fuck if it would kill me, and I do it. I do these little nicotine pouches in your mouth. It's a thing that I enjoy. That's probably bad for me, but I do it anyway. I am completely sober from alcohol and weed. I might smoke a joint once every 6 months with a couple boys, with a couple of my friends, as like a little ritual thing whenever we see each other. But I'm not going to do it every day because it's something that I've discovered that does not work for me. Coffee does. The little nicotine pouches, they do. Might not work for you. It might be the opposite for you. A glass of wine might help you get into your craft. I remember whenever I used to drink alcohol, I'd get this urge to go outside and hit the bench press. It's like a weird autistic urge. And I've had often thoughts of, I see this Kevin Parker from Tame Impala drinks wine while he makes music and all sorts of shit like that. My grandpa's drinking all the time. But it's just not for me in this present moment. I got things I want to do, very disciplined. I also have things that I want to have free time to just fucking chill out and do. It all comes down to your own thing. It's like, quit being so convinced by these people who are no different than fucking you. I really enjoy watching podcasts from like people I respect, artists, musicians, successful people and shit like that, because it's like, holy shit, these people are actually human. We build up these like people on pedestals so easily if we just allow it to happen to ourselves, when it's like, bro, these people are just fucking human who discovered these things on their own and realized they work for them. And the fact that there's a million different successful people who do different things. There's successful people who have butt sex. There's successful people who drink alcohol all day. There's successful people who smoke weed all day. There's successful people who wake up at fucking 12 p.m. There's successful people who work all night long like a mad, crazy little writer. There's people who do art. There's people who do business. There's people who do music. There's people who do fucking gardening. There's people who do all this shit and have achieved the level that most people deem as success. And they did it their own fucking way, because you don't have to follow someone's parameters. This shit is way too complex, and there's way too many possibilities and options for you in this world that will happen to you. So just go with the flow, my boy. Quit being so stressed out on certain things. Watch a little bit more Joe Rogan. Motherfucker Joe Rogan is like one of the most balanced, successful people I've ever seen. With the way he talks about things, with his beliefs. Like, there's certain things where he's cut and dry, where he's just like, no, there's definitely something to this, like, keto carnivore diet. It's definitely something to this, and he'll cut in and interject his opinions. But then there's some times where they're like, nah, bro, alcohol and weed, I'm sober, they're bad for you. And he's like, they're bad for some people. That's the way you gotta be thinking about this shit. Chase paper, enjoy nature, my boy, and have a good day.